Hello everyone, this is John from Western Maine Defensive Tactics, out on the range doing a little work. I just want to take a little break and do a video on ammunition and ammunition management. These days it's pretty common to be concerned about your ammunition supply and lay in as many thousands of rounds as you can, and okay, that's a good thing. I'm not going to argue with it. At the same time, I've run into some people who think, well, geez, I've only got a couple of boxes of shells for whatever rifle I have. Well, does that mean you're unarmed? Hell no. I've come to believe that if you've got 60 rounds of ammunition and that is reliable in your rifle and proven, that you know the trajectory of and where to hit out to a few hundred yards or whatever distance is appropriate in your area, you still have quite a lot. And on the table you see a couple of different examples of that approach. I'm going to start with the easy ones first, I guess. The easiest, AR-15 platform, a couple of 30-round mags, and you're done. Granted, it might be wiser to have a few more mags in that particular platform, but if you've got a couple of mags, you've got a mag to run and a spare mag fully loaded, you're in pretty good shape. 223 or 5.56 is not my favorite round in the world, but I'm not going to argue with its effectiveness because it works. That's highly effective in anti-personnel use, easy for everybody to handle, and gets the job done. Next up is my favorite rifle, my FN, with 3 20-round mags. Weighs a little more, but at the same time, as a civilian, I don't carry all the other crap that you typically see members of the military humping around. So I'm actually, even with this rifle and its magazines weighing a little bit more, I'm carrying a little less overall weight, and I maintain better mobility. But now, let's go over here. This is my truck rifle. It's a Marlin 336 and 30-30 Winchester. I've got a bandolier, or a shell belt, of 20 rounds, plus a couple of boxes of shells I keep right in the case with it. Ammunition management might not be quite so clear with that, but it's actually fairly simple. I have a way to hold shells for immediate loading in the gun. I can keep the shell, I can tuck the shells into my pocket in the boxes. They will rattle around a little bit, but there's other ways to take care of that. Sometimes you can take foam and put it on the inside of the case to take up that little extra wiggle room. Unless you have some kind of a half-stable platform or a rock or a table or something, it can be challenging to load out of. If it comes to where you actually have to, let's say, run and gun, quote unquote, it's fairly simple to dump those shells loose into your pocket and load out of your pocket. It's probably not 100% ideal, but it's actually not as bad as it sounds, having done quite a bit of it. Once you get used to the feel of the rifle, it's actually pretty simple to do. So how I run in that situation, what I would do is I would dump my bulk shells into my right front pocket with nothing else in it. I would run this around like my upper chest, or well, not my upper chest, my lower chest or my ribs. Use those to load single rounds into the chamber with, and load the magazine from my pocket when I had an opportunity. Also, if you're at the point where, let's say you just acquired an AR and some mags, have a way to carry your mags around. Yes, you can tuck a couple of them in the pockets, and that actually works fairly well, but once you start going beyond 1 or 2 mags, it becomes awkward. Now, if you watch Reed Hendricks' channel at all, you've probably seen his review on the Type 63, the Chinese Type 63 load-bearing gear. And I watched that video, and I had one of these, I don't know, in a closet or in the shop in a bag someplace, and I said, geez, I've actually never tried that. I think I found them in a gun show years ago for $5, and I said, well, I'm going to try it. They really fit AR mags really well, and they fit fall mags really well. They'll fit M14 mags, and they'll fit AK mags too. And for usually, anywhere from 13 to 20 bucks, this is a really good solution. Is it whiz-bang type stuff? No, but it doesn't have to be. And I really enjoyed Reed's video on that because, like him, I'd used lower-end stuff, ended up modifying it because it didn't really satisfy me, bought higher-end stuff and said, well, now I've got to modify my $300 rig or my $250 rig. What the hell, you know? I was buying it from people who did know what they were doing. It was excellent quality, but it just didn't work out as well as some of the rigs that I had made for myself over the years. So this is a really good place to start. It's very basic. It's pretty rugged. It is not the latest in space age technology, but so what? If you've got a couple of rifles or multiple rifles, you can easily set up and inexpensively set up a rig for each rifle, which I highly recommend. It's good to have for grab and go and equipping your buddies when they show up at your house. So just something to think of. It would be good to have, say, 3 mags, first aid kit, a little weapons maintenance equipment, and you'd be good to go. You may not have everything, but you've got, in a realistic way, enough to get you by. So anyway, just a few thoughts on ammo. Like I said, if you've got 60 rounds that you know how to hit with, I think you're quite well armed. If you've got more, hey, you've got more. All right, guys, take care.